What's going down, folks? It's your boy C23 back on the sticks once again with another NBA 2K16 MyGM episode. And a lot of you guys might be looking at the screen right now wondering what's going on. Why are we in the off season right now? Well, check it out. What I decided to do was simulate the entire end of last season and start fresh in the 2017-18 season, because realistically, we're about 15-16 games under 500. So we really had no shot of making the playoffs unless I sat there and played every single game out, which I was not going to do. So for your enjoyment and partially for the sake of my sanity, I decided to simulate up until this point. Now, since I didn't have any draft picks, I dove right into NBA free agency, and I had a pretty specific plan that I wanted to execute in the off season. I wanted to add a couple of bigs and maybe a role player like a shooter or something like that. So our first meeting was with Aaron Aflalo, and he was asking for about $9.7 million for a 2-year deal. Now, for a 33-year-old player, in my opinion, that's a little bit too much. So I tried to undercut him a little bit. I threw $2.58 million at him for 2 years, and he wasn't having that. So at the end of the day, he will not be joining the purple and gold, fam. Now, the next meeting that I had on my calendar was with Blake Griffin. And to let you guys know ahead of time, I am not a fan of Blake Griffin at all. But my owner challenged me to bring in a player that was at least 88 overall, and Blake was the only player that met that criteria in free agency. So we sat down with him and we talked contract. But you see how much money this man wants? $109.5 million for a 4-year deal. I really don't know. I'm not comfortable with giving him that type of money, to be honest with you guys. Blake is a cool player, don't get me wrong. I just don't see him fitting in well with Ingram and Deangelo. But anyway, I threw the contract at him just to see if he would take it. But like I said earlier, I had a pretty specific plan going into free agency. And Blake, although he's an 88 overall and the biggest name in free agency, doesn't really fit that plan. So check it out. My plan going into free agency was to add 2 bigs. My main target going into this offseason was Karl Anthony Towns, but unfortunately Minnesota picked up their player option, so he was off the market. I did, however, get a chance to sit down with Nerlens Noel, and we decided to hash out a contract, and I think he'll be a pretty good addition to the second unit. Now, for my starting center, I figured we'd be pretty aggressive and go after Greg Monroe here. He's a career 15-10 guy, so he's definitely going to give us some more flexibility on offense. So I decided to overpay a little bit. He wasn't asking for this much. He was only asking for 35, but I decided, what the heck, let's go on ahead and give him 48 mil for 3 years, just to make sure that he agrees to the deal. And sure enough, he accepted the contract. And I did exactly what I wanted to by adding 2 quality bigs in the offseason that should pay dividends for us moving forward. Now, getting into the gameplay, you guys will notice that there's no Brandon Ingram in the lineup. He's out with an injury for the next couple of weeks, so I had to slide Luol Deng into the starting small forward spot. But look at Monroe dive into the basket already early in the game, already making his presence felt. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Bogut is going to have a long day down in the paint. Getting back on defense now, Deangelo trying to keep up with Steph. Steph goes right around him for the easy jump shot right there in the paint. And you guys already know, Steph is going to do what Steph does. He's going to get his regardless of what you do. The game plan going into this one is to not let anybody else go off. Like I said, Steph is going to have his, but if we can contain everybody else, we'll be all right. But once again, going to Monroe right here in the paint, bodying up on Bogut. He just turns, elevates, and knocks down the layup. That's easy money all day. That's going to be a mismatch that we're going to have to exploit all day long. But look at Steph getting all the way to the rim. Oh my goodness. That was a pretty nasty crossover too. And oh, they're lazy getting back on D. I see you, Monroe. If they want to be lazy and jog back down court on defense, we got to take advantage of that. That was just too easy. Now, the next play, Deangelo's trying to go to work on Steph, calling a quick isolation right here, trying to take Steph one-on-one, hitting him with the spin move and throwing it down at the rim with 2 hands. Bogut was a little bit late on the rotation right there, so Deangelo was able to get to the rim for the highlight dunk. And nobody was able to fight through the screen on that play, so Steph gets a wide open 3-point shot. Anyway, though, getting back on defense, Clay gets the ball, trying to back down Richardson. That's not his game. Not sure what he's doing there, but gets rejected at the rim. Get that stuff out of here. So we're coming up court in transition, outlets the pass, throwing up the lob to Noel. That's exactly the way that we like our bigs to run the floor right there. And for the second time this game, we were able to get an easy score at the basket because our centers hustled all the way down the floor. And we were really missing that last season, folks. Now, I wanted to run something by you guys because I'm thinking about switching up the way that we do MyGM videos on the channel. Instead of just posting random gameplay videos throughout the season, what do you guys think about me showing you the simulations, the front office moves, kind of like I did earlier in this video, and everything like that all in a separate video? Do me a favor, you guys, and drop me a comment and let me know what your thoughts are on that, because I think it'll add more of a deeper element to the series and to kind of help it flow a little bit better. Anyway, drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts on that. Getting back to the gameplay though, Middleton with the rock forces a bad pass and is picked off. The outlet pass goes to Williams, who's taking it all the way to the cup, going 1-on-2. Wow, that was a crazy play right there. Next possession, Middleton kicking it over to Randle. Randle to Russell in the corner. Russell trying to dribble out, but freezes Curry with the crossover and throws it down at the rim. Oh my goodness, did you guys see that? What a crazy highlight right there. After the nasty crossover, Russell just takes off, throwing it down left-handed over Andrew Bogut. Oh my goodness. That might be the highlight of the series right there, folks. I don't know, we've had a lot of good plays, but that one is definitely up there. So on the next possession, Russell brings the ball up court and kicks it over to a wide open teammate, Green with the jump shot, knocking that down, and we're able to get a pretty easy score on that one. Getting back on defense now, Curry bringing the ball up court, Deangelo on defense, Curry trying to set up the offense, kicking it over to Green. Green kicks it over to Clay. Clay goes around the screen, but Clay loses the dribble and is forced to pick it up, kicks it back over to Green. Green attacking the paint, but gets rejected at the rim by Noel. What a play, running the break now, outlet to Richardson, throwing it down. What a play, and it all starts on the defensive end, folks, and that's exactly why we went out and got Noel. He's good for at least a couple of blocks a game, so we definitely need that defensive intensity moving forward. Now, on the next offensive possession, Russell brings the ball up court, passes over to Dang, and Russell dives to the basket. Noel finds him in the paint. Great ball movement on that play right there. And the great passing must be contagious, because on this next play, Randle finds a cutting Monroe diving to the basket for another dunk, and we continue to execute and get easy scores. Getting back on defense now, nobody guards the shooter, and we end up giving up a wide open three-point shot on that play. That is not going to get it done, folks. So the next possession, we come up court, Russell kicks it over to Randle. Randle finds Monroe again. Bogut was completely out of position on that play, and Randle was able to find the open Monroe for the dunk. Now check out what happens on the very next play. We fall asleep on defense too. It's like both teams are just falling asleep defensively, and no one wants to guard anybody today as Russell gets the three-pointer to go right there. This is a really crazy game, folks. So we're getting back on defense now, and Russell is just getting at work. Oh my gosh, Curry just did him dirty, but he misses the layup, grabs the board, kicks it to Bogut, who misses a layup again, and we're running the break now. Middleton to Randle, Randle back to Middleton, who finishes at the rim with the layup right there, and once again, we're able to capitalize off the fast break. Moving things into the fourth quarter now, Noel gets the rock, kicks it down low to Russell. Russell finds a wide open Richardson, who knocks down the jump shot right there. And as you can see, folks, things are starting to tighten up a bit. It's a close game with 5:50 to play. Curry gets a look at a wide open three, tying the game up. So we may end up needing some late game heroics in this one, folks. Stay tuned. And how did Richardson just miss that dunk right there? We definitely needed those points, but after the missed dunk, they're running the break. Iguodala with the layup does not get it to go. Russell with the rebound, outletting the pass up to Richardson, setting up the offense, trying to get something easy here. Richardson kicks it over to Russell with no hesitation, lets the three go, and it splashes the bottom of the net, so we're up 3 in this one. Next possession, kicking the rock over to Randle. Randle with a nice pass to a cutting Bembry for a layup right there. So we've had some pretty solid possessions here in the fourth. Moving things ahead a bit, Curry stopping and popping, knocking down the wide open jump shot right there, and they go up by 2 with 1:36 to play. Next play on defense again, Curry coming off the screen and draining the wide open jump shot, giving them a 4-point lead with 1:08 to play. Russell down to Monroe. He faces up and drains the jump shot right there, cutting into the deficit. So we're now inside 36 seconds left in the game. Curry bringing the ball up court, but it's stolen by Deangelo Russell. What a play. Russell now running the break, throwing the lob, but is denied by Curry. So the Warriors get the ball back with 24 seconds left in the game. This possession is huge. We need to come out here and get a stop. With 19 seconds left in the game, Curry gets double teamed. He passes over to Bogut. Bogut kicks it to Barnes in the corner. Barnes jab steps and goes up for the layup, but it's rejected by Monroe. What a play. The shot clock is at 4 seconds now. Clay with the rock. He tries to use the screen to force up a deep three to beat the shot clock, and it's no good. We grab the board and call a timeout. So it all comes down to this right here, folks. One shot to clutch it out. The inbound pass goes to Russell. Russell turns, elevates, and it's good. Deangelo Russell at the buzzer, knocking down a huge shot for the win right here, but the referees need to take a look at the play just to confirm that the ball was out of his hands before the clock expired, and there is no doubt about it, the shot's gonna count. The ball was well out of his hands before the buzzer went off, and that is your ball game, folks. We end up taking this one in dramatic fashion at the buzzer, 95-94, in one of the craziest games that I've ever played. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyways, folks, that's my time. Make sure you don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.